Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We're here at Miramar Marine Corps Air Station in San Diego, California. We're at the Flying Leatherneck Aviation Museum, where we have many beautiful restored and some not so beautifully restored helicopters, fixed-wing planes, and helicopters. This little jewel here that I'm looking at here was a Huey, affectionately known as the Huey or the Bell helicopter, which made its debut in Vietnam in the early 1960s. It eventually became part of the Air Cavalry, the Air Cav as it was shortened. It took men and material in and out of hot LZ zones in Vietnam. As a matter of fact, one of Mark's closest friends from high school, who was wounded in the Army, his life was saved by one of these little Hueys, affectionately known by grunts as Slicks. They were also called Bell helicopters, Hueys, but most of the grunts knew them as Slicks, and they were slick. The Cobra, which was a variant of the Huey Bell helicopter, you could notice was Vietnam's and the world's first helicopter gunship. It was very narrow, as you could see, unlike the Huey, which was like a double-wide mobile home. This puppy was only a single-wide, and it was very lethal with a combination of cannons, missiles, machine guns, rockets, etc., etc. What we're looking at here is a CH-46 helicopter. It's a heavy lift helicopter. After Vietnam in the late 1970s, we used these CH-46s to make underway replenishments with aircraft carriers. We would lift material and food and repair parts off the deck, generating a wind force of up to 100 miles an hour if you are unlucky as I was to stand below one of these things. And they were just magnificent workhorses. They've been phased out now. CH-46, baby. We're here today at the Miramar National Cemetery, San Diego, California, to talk about a very serious subject. And the subject is war, folks. The subject is war. America's enormous appetite for war. We don't seem to get enough of it. And if somebody else doesn't start it, we will. Take a look at Vietnam. Started on a fallacy. It was started on a lie, folks. Tonkin Gulf Resolution, which later was found out didn't happen. So we mobilized. We went from 50,000 to 500,000 troops, and eventually we lost over 58,152 young American men and women. Fast forward another 20 years, and you have Iraq. Oh, you remember Iraq, don't you? Weapons of mass destruction, ties to Al-Qaeda? They found none of those. Oh, it saddens me to think of these things, but people need to know that. People need to know about America's appetite and propensity for war, how Americans thirst and seem to love it, and seem to love the military and love the war. The next time, and every time, America seems to have the need, the want, the desire to go to war, maybe they should step back as a nation collectively and think of it. Think about it and think about it and make sure that it's based on verifiable truth. Make sure that when a country goes to war and sacrifices thousands of young men and women, that it does so based on honest to God, verifiable truth. That's all I'm asking. That's all I think any Americans would ask. We no longer want to lose young men and women based on lies and fallacies.